Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. Welcome to my weekend live shipping stream where I ship out all the orders that I have coming in from this weekend. So I'm going live on 4 platforms this morning. And let me know where you're watching from, both which platform you're on, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. I want to make sure everything's working. Make sure you can let me know if you can hear me and see me all right. And of course, let me know where you're located. I love hearing where my viewers are watching from. I'm in Northwest Arkansas. My name is Jason. I'm a full-time reseller in case you're new to me. And I'm just going to jump on here real quick and test out all the platforms to make sure we are live. All right, Facebook is a go. I typically run these live streams on 2 platforms, so wanting to make sure that the rest of them are working as they should be. Not sure on Instagram. Looks like YouTube, it seems to be working. And we'll take a look at TikTok as well. Okay, we'll roll with it for now. Let me switch over. Okay, we'll roll with it for now. I've got 24 orders to ship out this morning. I got one that came in, a really good $40 sale on Poshmark. I'll be going over. Looks like 17 eBay, I believe, 7 Poshmark, 1 Depop. Is that right? Yeah. 17, 6, and 1. Doesn't matter though. 24 total orders going out the door. Okay, so let's just jump into it. One of these items, as you may have seen by the title, one item sold in 6 hours. This is a new brand for me. I picked it up actually in my last thrift haul on Wednesday. I listed it on Friday during a live listing. I was taking pictures, going live and showing everyone what I had. And it sold. I listed it on Saturday. It sold in 6 hours on Saturday. That one's going to be coming up here in just a second. So a new brand for me that sold fast. So with that, I'm going to bring in my question of the day. Question of the day for you that's relevant and on point. What's a new hot brand that you've recently discovered? New hot brand you've recently discovered that has, maybe you haven't sold it yet, but it's a new brand you found that has some really good sold comps. Maybe you've already sold it, but let me know. I'm going to be showing mine in just a second. So I'll answer my question later on in the live as I grab it. I'm going to go in order of the way that my items sold chronologically. So hello to everyone jumping in. Let's get started. We're going to go with Depop. I had 1 sale on Depop, so that's improvement over the last 2 weekends. I haven't made Depop sales over the past weekends, the past 2 or 3 weekends, but this one came in. Happy to get this sale here. Anytime I get something that's close to the price I would take on eBay, and I don't have any fees, just a small transaction fee, I'm happy with that on Depop. That's the case with this Vineyard Vines. Can you all let me know that you can hear me and see me all right before I proceed? Let me know that you can hear me and see me. And if you have a question, if you have an answer to the question of the day, what's a new hot brand for you? A brand maybe you just thrifted that you haven't seen before. So we got this really cool Vineyard Vines USA hoodie, like a lightweight hoodie. Got the American theme whale logo, and on the back it's got the giant whale with the American flag. Picked up probably 4 or 5 of these, retail arbitrage for 10 to 15 bucks a piece. Chemo, thank you for telling me that. And this one went out on Depop for $33.20. So again, I pay a small fee on Depop, but it's not like all the other platforms where a good chunk comes out. Believe this is like 5 to 10%. I don't know exactly. The OG Goat Legend. What's going on? We got some YouTube viewers in here. We'll see if we can get some Facebook, some Instagram and TikTok. $33.20 on this. It's going out the door on Depop. Out the door. And speaking of Depop, I should say, I made the executive decision to stop posting new items on a Depop. So I'm going to leave all my current listings up on Depop and Mercari, but I'm no longer posting over there. We're going to just stop spending extra time where I'm not making many sales. Going to say more Connecticut. See you, Goat Legend. Thanks for popping in to say hello and taking off. Nick, what's going on? 91 today. We got 81 today here. When you're in the desert, it can be a nice and cool morning. All right, Depop's done. Depop was nice and easy. Okay, now we're going to switch over to Poshmark, where I made 6 sales this weekend, pulled in 1 this morning right before this live, went ahead and grabbed it, so I'll show you that as well. I got a $40 sale. That's my only sale this morning so far. First one, if you've seen some of my videos, you've probably recognized this. I posted a thrift haul video, these Peter Millar shoes, which Peter Millar, I sell their golf polos, their shorts. I've found their shoes maybe one other time, but never thrifted. So here they are, Peter Millar. These are the Apollo Hyperlight. You can see on the bottom sole there, Apollo Hyperlight shoe. Listed these and sold them really fast on Poshmark. Where are they? Did I get these in? Yeah, there they are. Okay, I was going to say, did I record these? Sold in 5 days for $54. So I had them at $59.99. Obviously 60 on Poshmark. It's going to round up. Nifty sent out a 10% offer after the buyer liked it, and the buyer took the offer. So they sold in 5 days for $54. I definitely paid up on these. I paid $24.99 at the thrift store. That's on the high end. If it were 30 or more, I probably would not have picked these up. So my profit isn't going to be as high on these. I think I made $18.20. Trying to do the math real quick. And I'm currently, about a week ago, I put in an order for my Poshmark supplies. I'm still waiting on them. Haven't got them yet, but I should have some like shoe boxes and some poly mailers and things like that I can use for my Poshmark orders. Do you have an answer to the question of the day? What's a new hot brand for you? So you may have seen in the title before you came in, I got an item that sold in 6 hours. This was a new brand for me, and it went for $35 in less than a day. We are out over here. Nick, how was your weekend? How are sales this weekend? Kimo, how long have you been waiting? I'm guessing, people like K-Way and Brad got their order in pretty quickly, and then they told a lot of people to do it. And I'm sure that now there's kind of a higher demand, so I'm sure it's going to take longer. But Peter Millar Apollo going out. Going to Omaha, Nebraska. Really close. Oh man, lots of rain in the desert. I'm trying something new this morning. So if you see me staring at the screen, I'm on my phone rather than my computer. So everything is smaller to me. So this is something different. I was trying to go on to 4 platforms. I'm not sure if Instagram and TikTok made it, but we'll check later and see if it successfully went through. Get off there. Okay, there we go. Lots of football in the patio, yeah. The big news for us coming out of Arkansas football world, our coach was fired this weekend after an abysmal effort at home. We played Notre Dame for the first time ever at home and lost by 42 points. We were down by like 30 at the half. And we have like a high-powered offense. Our defense sucks, but we have a high-powered offense. And Sunday, coach is gone. It's been coming. So we're ready to move on with our interim coach and see what he can do the rest of the season. Got an Untuck It. So we're shipping out Poshmark orders. Let me know how orders were for you all this weekend. 24 going out for me this morning. And of course, the question of the day for those that are popping in, what's a new, really good brand for you that you want to share with us? Got this Untuck It going out for $25 on Poshmark. I had a bunch of Untuck It's go out today. I think this past weekend, I think I had five orders. Had a bundle on eBay. A buyer came in and purchased 2. Seahawks won Thursday night football against Arizona. Nice. Love hearing that. Probably got a lot of eyes on that with it being a Thursday night game. Huskies lost to Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State's good. One of the best teams in the country so far. Newtown, Connecticut. We got a couple going to Connecticut this morning. Next up on Posh, we've got this was a fast flip too, a Hugo Boss shirt. Doesn't even look like the tag. It looks new is what I'm saying, but the way that Goodwill put the tag in the sleeve, there's a small hole, and typically with small holes, I try and work the fabric a little bit to get it to close up. I couldn't get it to close up on this one, so I had to list this as light new with a small hole, a flaw. Took a best offer of $20. I would have paid like $5.99 on this. So to get my money back and then some really fast, I'm happy with that. But had that flaw not been there, I would have listed this. I probably would have gotten 25 to 30 on this item right here. This buyer was going back and forth with me. Started at 15. I stuck to 20, and they finally took it. I love selling Hugo Boss polos. Again, I always get in the low 20s on these, so I should have got more, but that flaw prevented me, and that's okay. That's still a decent flip. Next up, another Untuck It. $27 on this beautiful patterned shirt. And what I've noticed with Untuck It is their sizing can be somewhat off. So I get a lot of returns on Untuck It's. I think I've got one pending right now on eBay. The great thing about selling these on Poshmark is I don't accept returns there. So they can reposh it if they want. They can try and resell it. But I love selling on Poshmark for that reason. I put the measurements in the description for the person to compare with themselves. And if they don't do that, that's on them to make sure it's going to fit, especially on Posh when it's more standard. No returns. which I don't know how many buyers actually know their measurements. I wouldn't say that many people know their measurements. Next up, I sold one of these last week. I sold another this week. Bird Dogs Performance Pants, Poshmark for $29, best offer. Yeah, these pants have slowed down some. I used to list in the $39 range and take an offer of 30 up. Now I'm about down to 35 when I list these. And again, 2 of these sold in the last week. So still a decent brand to find, but there are a lot of people selling these. Let me know in the chat if you've heard of Bird Dogs before. Put a yes or a no if you can. Going to Carthage, North Carolina. Standard pricing on pants here at Goodwill are $6.99. So $7 on those pants, $29 on Poshmark. That puts me in like the $18 profit range. And we'll see. There they are. Yeah, so if I subtract 7, that gives me $16.20 to be exact. All right, still on Posh. 2 more to go. This may surprise you, but I've got a women's Eddie Bauer polar fleece, like a quarter zip, has like a quilted pattern, like a snowflakey like pattern on it. This was new with tags. I thrifted this for a couple of bucks, and honestly thought I would get more. But what I've noticed is there are certain brands that sell at Costco and Sam's, and the tags on these are pretty comparable to what you'd find. So, I mean, when you can get this at Costco or Sam's for 15 to 20 bucks, these sell on eBay for about that. So I got a best offer of 16 on Poshmark. I had it listed for about 24. I didn't even counter. I just took it because I knew there were a lot of people in on these. And I was thinking, you know, I don't want to sit on this after this year. So let's just get my money back, get it moving and out. So I didn't make a ton. The tag on it says MSRP 70 bucks. But like I said, you know, people who have a Sam's or a Costco in their region know that these sell for less. So, you know, you would hope that someone who doesn't have that in their region would find it and just pay full price, but I didn't take a chance. So Eddie Bauer polar fleece, 16 bucks, going to, interesting, it says Canada/GUA, New York. So I don't know what that means. Anybody in the chat know what that means? I'm sure it's probably right on the Canada New York line. Canada AIGUA. Looked like a line. Someone that lives right on the border. All right, and sold this morning, my last Poshmark order to go out this morning. This LL Bean. I love LL Bean. It's one of my, sorry about that hitting the table. It shakes the camera. I love LL Bean. It's one of my favorites. This is a women's trench jacket, a very long trench coat. It was plus size 1X. I mean, the tag on it is excellent. No flaws on this. Buyer made an offer for 40 and I took it. I had listed this in February of this last year. Of course, there aren't a lot of people buying jackets in February because the season's about to change. And it's gone now. So it's an item that, you know, I'm not gonna not pick it up when I have a great brand in front of me, even when it's February. But I just know that it's gonna sit in inventory for a while. Pittsburgh, PA. We got a bunch of Northeast shipments this morning. LL Bean is one of those brands that is just, a lot of what they make. And, certain brands, you pick up certain things and then other things not. But with LL Bean, I just find that a lot of what they make and what I find in thrift stores, I pick up. I'm probably the most hesitant on their button-up shirts, but women's sweaters, men's sweaters, some men's pants, their shorts, their jackets, obviously. I mean, that brand just does well pretty consistently. Trying to think of some other brands that do well like that. I'm not sure what it is with LL Bean, because I kind of put Eddie Bauer, LL Bean, some of those like casual outdoor brands in that same category. But Eddie Bauer just doesn't do as well as LL Bean does, in my opinion. Okay. Depop and Poshmark are shipped out. And of course, I haven't said this yet, but if you guys have any questions whatsoever, questions over things you're seeing, what I'm saying, or just questions in general, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll definitely answer that. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments here. The question of the day, we'll throw it up again. What's a new hot brand that you found recently? I've got an item that sold within 6 hours. I picked it up on last Wednesday. I listed it Saturday morning. It sold by lunchtime on Saturday. We're going to get to that in just a second. It's coming down. It's coming down the pipeline. All right, next up on eBay, this Alaskan hard gear by Duluth, and it may be hard to see, but there's like the footprint that is the Alaskan hard gear standard logo. Duluth makes. There's a few brands under the Duluth umbrella. So you've got Duluth Trading. You also have Alaskan Hard Gear. 40 Grit is another one. I'm trying to think. I know there's one or two more, but Alaskan Hard Gear is a good brand. This was like I think it was a full, half zip pullover, very heavy pullover. Paid $8 for it. Buyer liked it on eBay. Nifty sent a 10% offer, and it sold for $27. I had it listed at $30. And this one sold pretty fast too. 15 days, so just a little over 2 weeks to sell that Alaskan hard gear shirt. New Hampshire. So we've got Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York. We are just sprinkling all over the Northeast on these shipments. It's going to be pretty easy for whoever is sorting these in the mail at the post office, because they're all going in one direction. All right, let's see. Have an Untuck It bundle. Buyer bought 2 of these for $25 and I believe $27. $25 and $27, $23 and $27. So $50 total on these 2 Untuck It's. Before I went live, I went ahead and refunded $5 in shipping back to the buyer for their multiple item order. Kind of do that proactively anytime a buyer makes an offer or purchases 2 or more items. And I've got that in my description of my eBay listings as well. I guess all of my listings technically. But if a buyer buys multiple items, I'll refund some of their shipping. So what I'm going to do is go in and grab these 2 and combine them, so I don't have to add the tracking to the second order. We're going to combine them. $682 for both. I understand that. It's always interesting when you get a buyer who's like, hey, where's my order? And, usually probably like most people, you ship it and you forget about it and you just hope that it gets there on time. I mean, most do. But yeah, it's a bummer when you get those messages where the person's like, it's been 3 weeks. Where's my item? All right, Vineyard Vines. Check out the print on this. Maybe hard to see, but it's got this all over like anchor print, all over these brand new pants. These are the breaker pant, common Vineyard Vines, like khaki pant. Had these listed at 55. Buyer made an offer for 47 and took it. And another fast flip. A lot of fast flips this morning. 36 days, so a little over a month to sell these. I paid 22 for them. They sold for 47. That gives me about an $18 profit. Maybe slightly less than that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Less than that, $14.95 profit on these pants. So to spend 22 to make 14, that's not ideal, but it only took a month. So going to New Jersey. That was a yellow tag item that I picked up. Yellow tag, thinking I would probably I thought I would get more than 50 on those, and I could have pushed back a little bit, but $47 offer on 54, you kind of have to take that, right? I forgot to put in a label here, so I'm going back to the spreadsheet. All right, next stop. Sold in 18 days. I'm slow to pick up Polo, Ralph Lauren, especially their khaki pants. I mean, they're everywhere. You're going to find thousands, hundreds of thousands of khaki pants. These are more specifically the Hammond pants, and I believe they were pleated. Yeah, pleated chino pants. So something I picked up for like $6-7, sold within 18 days. For $27 on these. I was kind of surprised to get that much, but I think the pleated had something to do with it. That's come more in style, pleated pants and the cuffed ankles. And I remember when I got these, because like I said, it wasn't that long ago, but I passed on several of their khakis that were there donated by the same buyer and only picked up the Hammond. Going to Texas. Looks like our label thing is about to run out of labels over here. We'll see if we make it through the end of the live. Okay, so on those pants, $24.83 minus my buy cost of $7, so $17.83 profit within 18 days on eBay. All right, one of my favorite finds and sales of the weekend. This Nike, it's gonna be hard to see because it's in the package, but camo, like military veteran style Razorback jacket. This thing looked brand new. I mean, it is just amazing. It snaps up. It's a lightweight windbreaker. It's got a hood. This was another fast flip. Took 7 days. Sold for $45 on eBay plus shipping. I had it at $49. Buyer made an offer, and I took it. That's a no-brainer right there. Nike. Honestly, I love finding the Nike line that is like the veteran military style clothing. So polos, jackets, sweaters. I just think they do so well, and specifically towards November, when most teams have a week where they're, the Veterans Week, where they're going to celebrate with special uniforms and things like that. And they've got the coaches and the staff all have that military veteran themed clothing. So this was a favorite find for sure. 7 days to sell for $45. I think they had this for like $8 at the thrift store. Something I didn't even have to look up comps. I knew it was a good one when I found it. Going to North Texas, Plano. How are we doing out there? I'm going to check in real quick. I don't think Instagram picked this up. Yeah, Instagram's not showing live. Even though I had it connected on Instagram, neither Instagram nor TikTok are showing that I'm live. So I've got an issue on the back end here I've got to work through for the next time. Okay, next up, pair of like mountain bike shoes. The brand is 510. And typically they have the logo on the side, but they didn't on this one. There's the logo on the tongue of the shoe. So you can see the 5, and then you turn it, and then there's the 10. So kind of a cool logo design that they have where the logo is 510. These shoes sold for $30. 94 days to sell. I thought it was quicker than that. $510 kind of specializes in mountain biking gear, shoes specifically. And I love finding this stuff. These are even worn. I mean, they're in okay condition. There's no major flaws. They've got some marks on them from wear, but I mean, this is something that someone's going to be wearing to mountain bike. They're not going to be too concerned if they've got some signs of wear, as long as they're not major flaws. Working in payroll this morning for a Friday payday. Nice. Not sure what that means exactly, Nick, but that's my inexperience in the payroll world. I have one person in my business to make sure that payroll comes through. All right, $30 plus $10.95 shipping. 94 days after listing. I love it when you go up, the weight of the item goes up, but the price doesn't change. I love that. Still haven't gotten to some of my, I think I had $300 or $400 flips this weekend. So I didn't sell as many units, but I had really good sales price. Nice. I know your job is really important. If you're in charge of 5,000 people's payroll, wouldn't want anything to disrupt that for sure. Okay. This was my highest sale of the weekend. And the buyer came through and purchased 2 of these jackets. I don't know if one is as a gift or if they're planning on wearing both of them. You know, I can see where someone would buy a bundle of shirts, but a bundle of jackets is a little confusing to me, but I don't care because they're both going up. I paid $69 for each of these. I got 11 or 12 of these jackets a year or 2 ago. I'm towards the end. I've sold most of them, but 2 of these same size went out for $119 each. This is the Polo Ralph Lauren. Where'd it go? Polo Ralph Lauren. It's technically called the men's bi-swing windbreaker jacket. They retail for $168, $119 each. Buyer paid full price. And I thought maybe this would be like an international order. But no, it's not. It's going to Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, I hear that. You do normally work from home, sitting on your patio. So total of $238. This was a good one. This helped make a really good Saturday. It gives me the option to buy the what am I trying to say? To buy the extra insurance. I declined it. $238. So I'll get at least $100 back if this gets lost. And let's just hope it doesn't get lost. That would stink to lose out on the value of that. I'm going to take a chance, though. I usually do for something $200. All right, I was live on Friday, and I was mentioning to people these shoes that I had an offer on. I'd listed these at $89. I picked them up for $6.99 a couple of weeks ago, and I said I hope they sell this weekend because the buyer had sent an offer of $59 on my $89 price. I came back and countered right in the middle at $75, and I didn't hear anything for a while, and I thought, okay, buyer went away. They came back the next day, offered $70, and I took it. These Jordan 89 Racer is the technical model on these. Excellent condition, size 13. This is one that's going to Las Vegas to get authenticated. I did it again. I forgot to put in my shipping price. 1 second. So it's going to get authenticated. Out of all of the years that I say years, it's not like it's been a long program, but of all the shipments that I've sent out an authentication shipment, I've only had one get returned to me as counterfeit, even though they weren't. And then I listed them again and sold them on Poshmark. That's the only bad experience I've had with something coming back. Most items, 99.9% of the time, they're authenticated. I never had any issues. Funny thing is, it was a pair of Hokas that were new without the box. And they said they didn't think they were legit. That's okay. I put them up on Poshmark and they sold when I got them back. All right, got about 5 or 6 left. You all did anything exciting this weekend that you want to share about? Trying to think what we did. Had a pretty packed weekend. We drove quite a bit. Saturday we drove about an hour to my dad's house. We had dinner with them. It's been a while since we've been over there, so we got to hang out with him and my stepmom. And then yesterday, Sunday, my in-laws came to see us and have dinner with us. And they live about an hour away, so that was nice that we didn't have to drive there. All right, next up, last pair of shoes that I'm going to show you. These were nothing special. I don't know why I picked these up, but I still made profit on them. These old Adidas golf shoes. I mean, check those out. That's an old style. They are soft spike though, so not too old. They're not really making the, they're not soft spike. They're spikeless. That's what you would put in the description of that. Spikeless golf shoes, meaning the sole is has the traction. Old school shoes have like the spikes that you would screw in and unscrew. So they're not too old, but when I listed them, it was like, why did I get these? See if it's on here. I paid $4 for them. They sold for $19.99. So still a good flip. But it was one of those things that as I was listing, I was like, instantly regret that I picked them up. Just because I typically don't buy like older styles like this. I'm looking for newer styles that are recent and excellent condition. Also, the older the shoe, the better chance you have of it having like dry rot, where the sole falls apart. And I've had that happen, not with golf shoes, I don't think really ever, but more so with hiking boots, and specifically Columbia, where the person gets it, they wear it out a time or two, and then they're like, hey, these are ripped. The sole is completely shredded on me. So I'm very leery of picking up Columbia, and specifically old, like hiking boots, older style. I always do like the bend test. I bend the shoe sole to make sure it's not going to crumble. And that has saved me a time or two. Actually, I did see some golf shoes that I was going to pick up. They were brand new, but wherever they had been stored, they'd gotten moisture in them. And when I did the bend test, it showed me they had a crack in the sole, and I could easily just put them back and not buy them. That was a lucky. I was lucky to see that in the store and not when I got home. But if you guys sell an item, which has probably happened to me 2 or 3 times, you sell a shoe that falls apart on the buyer, how do you handle that situation from a customer service standpoint? Do you typically refund right away, no questions asked? Do you ask for proof? How do you treat those situations? With any type of issue with an item, I typically want to see proof. I'm not going to just blindly refund the money. So I always want to see proof. And then I'm always trying to find some little mark on the item to make sure that I can verify that is the exact item I sold, because someone could have a pair of boots that the soles have worn out. They buy yours and then they take a picture of theirs and send it to you. So I always try and find some little mark. Like you can usually find some sign of wear or some specific thing on the shoe. Obviously, I'm not going to tell them what I'm looking for, but I may say, hey, can you send a picture of the left side of the shoe or something? And that will help me determine, is this the exact shoe that I sold them? And of course, I've been able to verify with my experience that they were the shoes that I sold, so I just refunded. But I don't do that unless I know for sure. Would you all have paid $29.99 at Goodwill for this brand new Woolrich and actually wool shirt? Would you have paid up $30 for this? It wasn't on sale, but you can see the tag that was at the outdoor store, the local outdoor store, $120 retail on this buffalo check shirt that's wool, like a very heavy wool. I paid up for it $30. It was one that I thought about, and I was thinking, okay, if I get 60 or more on this, it's worth it. I got 72 on a best offer, listed at 79. Nifty sent a 10% offer. The buyer took it. Nick Smith, I asked for a photo of the tag, etc. It's like a fingerprint. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to assume that everyone's trying to lie, and I have to sometimes remember that. Like, most people are honest and really just want to be taken care of. But there are people out there that are taking advantage of the situation, trying to take advantage of a reseller, and specifically if they know you're a new reseller, i.e. you have, a small amount of feedback, they may try and take advantage of the situation, knowing that you may not know what to do, you may not know how to handle it. So but most people are just honest people who just want to be acknowledged. So it took 39 days for this Woolrich brand new shirt to sell. I paid $30 for it. That gives me a profit of $26.02. And this sold promoted, so I had an extra $6 taken out of the sale there. It's my last label. I'm going to have to switch out over here. That's going to Washington, Connecticut. This is the third Connecticut shipment going out today. Yeah, I like your wording there, Nick. It is like a fingerprint. All right, we're taking a brief pause here while I reload labels into my thermal printer. Shouldn't take too long. It's pretty quick. And we're ready to go. Okay, next up, another Untuck It. This one going out for, where's the price? $24, $24 plus shipping on this brand new Retzina Untuck It. For some reason, these poly mailers, this specific brand that I have, whenever I rip off the little plastic strip, it always sticks to me. It's really frustrating. These don't do it. The eBays, these do it. So I have to forcefully throw it in the trash to get it off of me. It's annoying every time. All right, we're back in biz. come back next Monday. I won't be live. We're going to be out of town. So I won't be doing this shipping live next Monday. But I'll be back the following week. So 2 weeks from today. All right, you heard me tease it out. Here it is, the item that sold within 6 hours on eBay. This was a new brand for me. I've never found this brand before. I can't tell you if it's specifically cycling, but I'm just going to assume it is because it's a cycling jersey. There's the look on the tag. Got $34.99 full price sale. And this was a beautiful piece. I wish I could show you the full thing. I guess I can technically show you on my phone. I can show you the picture of the jersey because it had this really graphic pattern. And the jersey didn't look like it had really been worn. There it is. The brand is Twin 6. It says Twin 6 on the side. Just the front and back had that like really cool geometric print with the diagonals going across. Cycling jerseys typically don't sell for that much for me, but when I looked up this brand in the store, I saw that they were going for mid-20s and the low 30s. I knew because this was light new with a great pattern that not a lot of people had this pattern, if anyone had this pattern. Priced it and it sold. I listed it at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. It had sold around lunchtime. So you want to be on the lookout for Twin 6, and more specifically with cycling, the color, the more colorful, the more pattern you have, the better it is. This one going really close to home, Neosho, Missouri, probably an hour from me. I don't remember exactly. I want to say it would have been $5.99 on that jersey. So we'll say $6, and that gives me a profit of $23.69 within 6 hours of getting it again. Great find and great flip. Question of the day, if you want to share with us what's a new hot brand that you've found recently that maybe you didn't know about until now, and now you're happy you know about it. That one was mine, Twin 6. I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. It's a little more discreet on the tag. It doesn't like say Twin 6 on it. But now that I know what that logo looks like, I'll definitely be looking for it. Another $100 flip here. I paid out $50 for this vest. This was a Barber women's like Gillet vest, new with tags. Retails for $179. Just a cool vest. You can't really see it here. I'll pull up another picture just because really cool looking vest. So I put quilted in the title. I put snaps. I put pockets, Gillet vest. Had it at $117. Buyer paid full price. Listed 17 days ago. So $50 spend at Goodwill, $117 within 2.5 weeks. Barber's a great brand. Their shirts I've never found like more of an outer layer. So when I saw it, I knew to look it up. This kind of broke the, typically you get half price of retail. This broke that rule, $117 out of a $179 retail. So within 17 days, paying $50, I get $42.30 back in profit. All right, last item going out the door this morning. Let's do one of these back. I'm almost out of poly mailers over here. I got to get some more in. Last item going out the door, a bread and butter item. Nothing too crazy. I don't get excited about this, but got a pair of Lee Extreme Motion like pants. I was trying to get 25 for these. The newest tags. The buyer kept coming back at 18. Finally, I just said, let's do 20 and get it gone. So they're out. I paid up for these $8 at the mall in my town. They have a store. Technically, it's called $5.99 or less. Everything's supposed to be $6 or less. They've recently upped their prices. So these were $7.99. I picked up a bunch of pants. They're all new with tag stuff, but the brands aren't typically that great. So I paid up for these, and they sat for a while. 235. No, that's the wrong one. 227 days to be exact. But they're gone for $20. Give me about a $10 profit. Nothing too exciting. Probably won't pick those up in the future. Lee just is not a great brand to me. I kind of regret picking those up. I got a few other Lee pieces with that haul. And my hope was, I was listing more on Amazon at the time. My hope was I was looking for items that I could sell on Amazon. I was hoping I would sell those and others on Amazon, and it just didn't happen. And so now it's just kind of recoup and move on. Recoup and move on. All right, so look at that. 57 minutes to ship out my 24 items. I'm under an hour. That's all I have today, unless you all have any questions or anything. I typically go live on Mondays, but next week I will be out of town. We'll be on vacation, so I won't be going live next Monday. Look for me in 2 weeks. Facebook, YouTube. I'll try and get Instagram or TikTok going. I can't guarantee that, but we did have some issues today. So thanks, guys, for coming in and watching. As always, appreciate you. Appreciate your conversations, and we'll see you after I return from vacation. Have a great week, y'all.